Hello, hello. Yes, I don't have a Cosmere intro yet, so we'll go with the we'll see how much people actually enjoy this before I start doing Cosmere intros. But hello, yes, we're here for some Cosmere talk, and we'll see where this goes. We're totally going to wing this. Uh, Alex is apparently at a fancy dinner, so he's unable to make it today. But he's here in spirit. He said he's listening, but we'll see. We'll quiz him later. We'll quiz him later. Miss Martin Hughes is what's that out then?
We can get Alex's input later. Just upload
There you go.
it.
Well, I'm sure he'll be if we do
Edit
more,
it
which we're planning on doing more. He'll be here for many of those. Miss Martin Muses for 99 cents. Dollar the rose sticker. Thank you very much. Inan is here. I'm always late. I'm always late. Louise X Sparrow, hello. How are you? Nerporio, I'm sure at some point there will be spoilers. Like I said, this is just going to take on a mind of its own, I'm sure. But I am joined by the infamous, the songwriter himself, Aldan. How are you, sir?
Very good, thank you, Steve. How's yourself, mate?
Oh yeah. Well, in there is some beautiful music being made at Aldan's house. So just it's not you're not hearing, you're not being called to heaven. That's his daughter playing music. So just enjoy the musical.
Can you hear the saxophone? Can you hear that?
Just a little bit. It's okay. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. No, it's not bad. I just wanted to mention it, so it's not like what does. Yeah, so it's not bad. And we're here with Shy, the aspiring writer, with whatever the hell else he wants to call himself. What's up, Shy?
Hello, how you doing? Been waiting for this for about a year.
Yeah, I know. I kept saying we were gonna do it, and it's like, you know what? I just need to do it. It's gonna be evident real quick why I haven't done it, because I don't know where to start. There's so much to cover, I don't really know the best way to do it. So we're just gonna go right. So and like I said, hopefully we'll do a few of these, going pretty much all over the place, I'm pretty sure. I don't know whether we'll start with like a book and go from there. We're just going to do general stuff. There's plenty of tier lists I'd like to do at some point, revolving around radiant orders or types of allomancy and all kinds of stuff. But
have you done that? Have you done the radiance? You would have done the
radiant quiz.
Yeah,
I did a long time ago.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times.
I think I cheated and made sure I made. No, I think it's, no. I think that thing is basically made so everybody, like, if you. I ended up being a windrunner if I remember right, but I remember like I went in and I changed my answers and I was still a windrunner, and it was like oh, I know a lot of, I don't know, it was like very geared towards your whatever your answers were. A lot of them ended up making you a windrunner, but why not? Windrunners are cool. I can't wait to see a Stone Warden, man. Like, there's no, who haven't we seen yet? Stone Wards. Yeah, we got an El's Collar. Well, that's the only one, right?
We haven't seen the Stone. Oh, we've seen the Dustbringers, haven't we?
Dustbringer. Yeah.
I think we've seen the Stone Ward at least one of their spren.
No, we've seen the Parshendi version, or yeah, we've seen the Parshendi version, but not the human version of the Stone.
I've only read Rhythm once, so I need to read that again too. But like, I'm just trying to remember if like, I'll take your guys' word for it. But I'm pretty sure we've seen all the others. I just don't know if we've seen a Stone Ward.
Yeah, we've seen a Truth Watcher.
Yeah, true. Well, we've seen and whatever.
We've seen El's Collars.
Renarin is.
Yeah, he's a Truth Watcher.
Well, sort of. He's something else, though. Yeah, Renarin and him are sort of Truth Watchers. See, we're getting off track already, right? So it's like Relaine and Renarin are sort of Truth Watchers, but there's something different too. So like, I'm eager to see where that goes.
So if you're referring to the character from Rhythm of War who has the Parshendi who has a spren, that's not Stone Ward, that's Will Shaper.
No.
Yeah, Venley?
I'm talking about the
Will Shaper.
No, I'm talking about the the
Vision?
the what's his faces. No, the ones that go through the rocks and shit to get into ERA2.
See, yeah, so that's
Oh.
so
Come on,
that
that's their
because I
vision.
know Dalinar has one, has one man, I can't find the word, but one of his surges is shared with Stoneward, so that I know he can
Yeah.
do some of that Stoneward stuff. So, but we are way off the beaten trail here. Oh my god! So, so what's funny, I don't know that. Is that what do you think that's the best? Like I can't tell if there's sarcasm happening or not. But I'm actually listening through Elantris again right now, just because it was the first one. Hello, sit room. How are you? Good to see you. I'm actually listening to Elantris again right now because I don't to be honest, like there's bits and pieces I remember as I'm listening through it, but yeah, it's one of those. It was the first one I read, and then I got very confused. I started from publication date. So like when I started it, my brother's like, you should start reading some of Sanderson's stuff. I'm like, okay. And he like didn't have a suggestion or anything for me where to start. He's just like, go. So I just went, okay, what was the first one that came out? And it was just like Elantris. So that's where I started. I'm assuming that's not where from your guile and your why would you start their response. Where did you start, Aldan?
Oh, honestly, I didn't start the best spot either, but it wasn't Elantris. If I'd have started at Elantris, I'm not sure I would have continued. I wouldn't.
I don't know. Yeah, it was confusing.
It is not a good first book. If you want someone to continue Cosmere, you normally want to go Mistborn because it's the most widely appealable. That's how I've gotten my friend to try it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I started with Way of Kings just because that was like on the shelves after I finished Memory of Light. Close to that. That was so Stormlight. When I decided after I read Memory of Light a couple of times, I was like, "What's it, Brandon? I think I need to read some Sando stuff, right? Because I really enjoyed the way they finished it." And Way of Kings was the first thing I picked up.
Well, I feel like Way of Kings is a good place to start for Wheel of Time readers.
Yeah,
it's a big jump for most others because that was technically the first one I picked up. It just wasn't the first one I finished.
Yeah, and I think there's some like I'd be curious to chat where everybody else started, but I know that I try to suggest. Here's where I end up a lot of the time is I try to suggest people read. When people ask, I try to suggest you read Mistborn first, but I'm always so eager to get people into what's going on in Stormlight Archive. I always sort of cave and go, just read Way of Kings and go from there, right? Just because Way of Kings is so good. But I know it suggested that, I shouldn't say suggested. I know a lot of people lean towards Mistborn first because they're shorter than Stormlight and supposed to be easier reads. But sorry, go ahead.
I recommend Warbreaker. Whenever anyone asks me, like, what should I do? Not that advice ever gets taken, but I recommend Warbreaker because I think that's a great spot to start.
I think that's another good one. Yeah, that's another good gateway book.
And you want to read it before you read Stormlight, to be honest. Or at least you want to read it before book 2.
Well, before book 2, I could see, but I mean, you don't put the connections in book 2 together right away. It takes some time, but I don't. That's another. Warbreaker's another one that I haven't read in a long time. It's one of those things. I feel like I'm glad Sanderson is finishing up. Well, I shouldn't say I'm glad, but I'm hoping he goes back to either Elantris or Warbreaker and adds on to one of those next because they really need it. Because
what's the schedule? He's got a schedule. He's doing book 2s for both in his schedule.
Yeah, I know. I know he's got one. Oh God, I'd have. I can go
Elantris 2. I think Elantris 2 is pretty soon, actually. I'm more excited for Warbreaker 2, to be honest. But to understand some of the things that have obviously happened on Malthus, right, between then and now, like that's just there's so much
is happening, right, in the Cosmere as a whole, right? I mean, like just especially like I know you haven't read Sunlit Man, but some of the stuff that happens in Sunlit Man, some of the stuff that happens in Tress, and just as a whole, where it seems like technology and some of the stuff has gone, it's just Elantarians seem to be getting involved in a lot of different ways in some of these books, and it's like I think if you asked anybody, Elantris is probably his weakest, even though it was his first and probably his weakest. He needs to do some updating on how things work, at least for me, right? I always find myself confused.
It has one of the coolest systems, but it is one of the weakest writing, I think, of it that he's done, but it's probably got one of the coolest magic systems.
Well, I think they're all cool. I mean, like, I have trouble. Well, because I always have trouble understanding how Aeon Door works, like, because especially with some of these other things. Sorry, go ahead.
The way I've heard it described is it's basically a magic system where you can input a code in the universe to create something. So, say you want to throw a fireball, there's basically a sign for it, and you can just keep writing specifics on how you want that fireball.
But I thought so? Which one's the one that which chart on Cell is the one that has to do with where you're at with geographical location?
That's the door,
right? So how does it work on another planet?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's where it starts going to Cosmere magic manipulation, because the two things with Cosmere that when you're trying to mix the magic systems everywhere else, it's investiture and connection. And so if they're using it elsewhere, it's because they're somehow using connection to let them use it elsewhere, then despite that limitation.
But then you got to think about the spoilers, by the way, everyone, but big spoilers. But
so thanks to everybody that's hopping in, dude guy. Thank you for dropping in. We're gonna be all over the place. This is sort of just general Cosmere talking right now. We'll get more focused as the more we do these, probably. But there's probably going to be spoilers here and there for Cosmere wide. And Louise Expero, I want to say there's nothing wrong with Elantris. There's nothing wrong with it. No,
it's a thing where
I just think it's the weakest of the set. That's all. I still like it.
He's getting the handle of his writing style still and how he does things, because I've read his first two ones were Elantris and White Sands. I've read both, and they both follow a very similar pattern. Like he's clearly still like following a mold, and so they end up being very predictable and
I need to get my crap together. I need to get my crap together and actually finish White Sand. I got through the first one. I need to finish. I have the other two sitting here. I just need to do it. I haven't done it yet, but yeah. So it's not. I don't say that it's its weakest because I don't like it. It's just I think when you stack it up against all the rest of the Cosmere books, I shouldn't say it's the weakest because I put it above Yumi because I hate you. I have to give Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, since we're calling that a Cosmere novel. I got to try that again because I just couldn't find a connection. I couldn't do it. I don't know. It was something was so off about it for me. I thought the magic system was interesting, but just there was something about the characters that just wasn't like it wasn't just grabbing me like it normally does. Tress was fine. I don't know what I think. Tress was fine. Silent Man was really good. But the Dawn Shard was okay, and like a lot of the novellas, I definitely put behind Elantris for myself. But I mean,
yeah, that's true.
My least favorite would probably have to be what's her name again? It's the novella that takes place after Words of Radiance, named after
Edge Dancer. Lift. The problem with that is Lift is sort of insufferable, and the biggest problem. Yeah, she has her moments, right? And I think pairing her up with Zeth was probably the best thing you could have done for her, at least in my opinion. But that's why Edge Dancer is sort of a little bit difficult, just because she has her moments where it's just like, oh my god, Jesus.
You need her to bounce off someone, because if she's in a vacuum, her quirky personality really just starts to grate on you, because there's no one there to like put a calm voice, like basically your reaction to this person. No one to just look at her like, what the hell are you?
Yeah, she's annoying. She's annoying, but it is kind of the interesting thing about Lift is that it's cool to have someone with a completely different, like a character with a completely different take in the same like universe of like in the same of the magic, if that makes sense. Like she processed like the food thing. It's just completely different, right? So that's what makes her interesting. It's her personality that sucks.
Well, that's it, right? Her powers and how she's different from everybody else is what's very, very interesting. But then it's like just sometimes it's just so over the top. Her personality is just like, Jesus Christ, can we cut a little bit of that? Secret History. What do you guys think of Secret History?
Love it. Blew my mind.
You're not gonna like it if you don't know much about Cosmere because you will be very confused.
Well, that's something that you have to be, fully in depth, right? Fully into, or a lot of it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So I guess let's see here.
Blew my mind, man. That's the what? Isn't that's one with the when you've got the where you've got the what's it, the Elantrians that are in the cognitive realm, whatever, where Kelsey's in the cognitive realm. Yeah, that blew my mind the first time I read that. Like
I didn't realize they were Elantrians at first. The way they're described didn't connect to me. I had to look that up.
Yeah.
Well, like, I know I gotta get you Sunlit Man because there's some stuff that's dropped in Sunlit Man. First, you don't even know where you're but just like Kelsier. Kelsier is like the number one loose cannon out there, right? I don't know how much, like, you find out he's not again, spoilers, he's not completely gone, and then he's got his hands all over stuff, and then Kel is basically, I don't give a crap about anybody but Scadrial, so like whatever's good for Scadrial, I'm gonna do, right? So
make Scadrial great again.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, holy crap, right? And it's like, and then there's so many like.
Then you see that. Did you ever read that thing that Brandon put out, which was like a like something that is not a book, was just like a short story, like of Six of the Dusk #2 or whatever.
I gotta reread so many of those. Yeah,
you're talking about the one that's far in the future, right?
Yeah, the one that's way in the future with spaceships and shit, and that was just fucking mad, and that was obvious. Yeah,
but I don't think. Yeah, so I'm not gonna. I've read Sunlit Man. You should read it. It's I think it's the best out of the four. By far, and when I actually listen to him talking about the four, it makes a lot of sense because Sunlit Man's actually the only one of the four that he actually wrote to be published. Yeah. So it's actually, while the others he sort of fit into the Cosmere, Sunlit Man was actually meant to be a Cosmere novel. So
when he did his reading for that on his channel or whatever, it was pretty like for the first 5 chapters or whatever.
5 chapters of the Six of Dusk future thing?
No, of the Sunlit Man when he was announcing the books or whatever on the Kickstarter, when he read the first part of it. Pretty damn cool. It seemed pretty rad, man.
Oh, it's great. It's really good. I think part of it for me, especially why it went way to the front, is because it's about somebody we actually know and give a shit about. So you have to learn to like the characters in the other ones. This one, Sunlit Man, you already once you figure out who it's about, it's like, okay, here we go, right? So I want to know what's up. Doviande Toby says, I want to know what's up with Spook. Spook's.
What do you mean?
Spook is probably gone.
He is.
Well,
right? I mean, we don't know other than he got last Mistborn. He's the last Mistborn, right? But other than that, like was there something? Did I miss something? Is there something going on with Spook?
No, they have his last words and notes. So unless we find out Spook did something with them, I don't think he has.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe I missed something, Dovey, because I'm pretty sure Spook is dead.
Well, there's a question after Lost Metal of that, isn't there?
Is there?
Wasn't there like? I'm not sure we're sure that he's dead anymore. Someone has to be.
I'm pretty sure he is. They haven't given like it is technically possible he might have survived, but I don't think
he's Mistborn, right? So I mean, we know he lived for freaking long. We know Mr. Iron Eyes is alive and well by the end of Lost Metal, right? So,
but he specifically has the necessary things to be immortal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which
I know
does
that.
not have.
Yeah, I don't know. Did we? I don't know. Here we go. Okay. Well, first of all, we all don't know if Spook is gone, but even if he is, I want to know his story. So that would be. I think you're right. So I think getting a Spook story of what he did, sort of that would be a cool novella. I think to just put in between maybe ERA2 and between ERA2.
It might be
coming out.
Mistborn Secret History 2 if that ever becomes a thing.
What he's doing a bit. Isn't he doing another Mistborn? He's doing an ERA4, isn't he?
Well, he's got ERA3. ERA3 is supposed to be, as far as I know, supposed to be like art, like the computer age.
Yeah.
And then ERA4 is supposed to be space travel. Everything is leading towards space travel because for some galactic battle wherever the hell it's going to be. Because
an interstellar war.
I think the one of the. Well, yeah, but he ran out of atium, right? Isn't that the whole thing that got Marsh in trouble at the end of Lost Metal?
He did. Marsh has more now, but here's the thing: Spook cannot be immortal unless he has used Hemalurgy, because he will have needed to spike himself to use the ferrochemical power that allows that.
Which there's nothing to say he couldn't have done that, but I'm not sure what hints we know that you've seen. We don't. So it's possible he's like, if he showed up, be like, okay, right?
Like I said, possible. I just don't think he has. Plus, there's that new thing of spiking yourself does not just automatically give you compounding, which is the important part. So I
guess
don't know if he knows that.
So I want to ask you guys, like in chat too, what? Yes, atium is the body of ruin, correct? So have you read Lost Metal, Yunan? So yeah, so basically as soon as ruin and god dang, why can't I remember the other half of harmony? Preservation, sorry. Became harmony, those metals basically went kaput, and whatever was actually around was it, right? So
something I've basically heard said, atium in the little place where they got it from, the pits, was the body. That's the little extra physical form of ruin. So that way ruin and preservation were balanced after preservation made that cage, or like the well. He has said there has to be something needed for that. We just don't know what's happened.
I think the crazy. That's one. I think that's one of the crazier revelations from Lost Metal for me was the fact that, well, I guess if you could figure it out, you can make atium and Lazurium again. Mm-hmm. It's quite the process, but you can do it. So I mean, and then that's my other. So I want to ask you guys a Lost Metal question. So Lost Metal spoilers here, real quick. Sorry. So we all know Wayne. So Wayne is technically the last Mistborn, I guess technically, because is it confirmed that Wax is 100% Mistborn now?
He has he had some Larazium, so presumably he is a little bit full Mistborn, yeah. Probably very weak.
I don't know.
Because it's one of those, it's like, I always took, because, Harmony had the vials delivered to him. I think the funny thing for me is all of the events, the way in my head canon anyways, I guess hopefully we have it answered at some point, is I find it funny that he struggled all the way through all of Lost Metal and through that whole thing, he was Mistborn, and he just didn't know it.
Wayne of Wax.
Yeah. Wax too, yeah. Well, both of them, right? I mean, both of them were right. So, I find
well, he was pretty OP at times, but to be honest,
what Wax? Or Wayne? Both of them.
But there is like little hints Wax sees and just doesn't understand, and I think he's just really weak because he just basically had fumes.
Well, but does that matter? Does the amount of Lazarium you ingest does that
it affects your strength?
Does
you
it
can
affect
become
your
stronger and weaker Mistborns, and more Lazarium you do, the stronger your pet ability is.
Well, I'm trying to think how that applies to Wayne then and what he did. They were in the same room. Yeah, I guess he didn't need a lot of it, right?
He just needed to basically super boost.
Right. Yeah, true. Repoil for $2. Parent story just gut punched me. I feel bad now. Oh. I don't know what part you're at.
Yeah, which part? Because
I don't know.
It just did that to me too, man, to be honest, but I think I'm further ahead of you. So I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know either. I'm trying to. Well, let's not get distracted. So
I don't think it's explicitly said in the books. It's something I've read in Coppermind from Words of Brandon, and how he described how you can basically become a sliver if you burn enough Lazarium.
Okay, because I've never because I'm trying to sort of think myself because I'm sort of with on there. I wasn't sure,
Wait.
Dude. If you go down that copper mine hole, goddamn, there's
you can beat it.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's cool, but it's also like overwhelming. Like it's like you go in there for one thing, and then you go down a rabbit hole, and all of a sudden it's like Jesus Christ, all this stuff that it's like I don't know how people have time to come up with some of this stuff. But
I've been down that rabbit hole. I need to go back again once I finish the next 2 books, so I can make sure I know how everything's working.
Oh, his family, that part, he's back in the tour.
Right. Yeah, Rising Shadow.
Wayne is probably one of my favorites. He's way towards the top, man. Wayne is so cool.
Wayne is the best because he's like an Australian, so that makes him the best.
Well,
he should have a kangaroo sigil or something.
Dude, the funniest thing, I think the greatest part about Wayne is just the fact that he didn't give 2 Fs about money, and he just started throwing his money around to help people make stuff, and the effect he's going to have on the next century, like the future of Scatriel, because
it's going to be a
Wayne's charitable donations is astounding.
Wayne statue instead of the Lord Mistborn one or whatever. They'd be like a Wayne statue.
Yeah, right. They might as well, right? So Jesus. Oh yeah, it's Wayne's. Yeah, there you go, Gadfly. It's Wayne's world we're just living in. I love it. But so, God, so I guess this because I don't even know how I'd answer. What do you have a particular? Could you pick a favorite? I guess Alden series out of the Cosmere. Well, character series. What I mean, it's hard. I mean, you know what? For me, I almost have to pick a character per series because overall, it's just almost too hard a question.
Yeah, because they're all different. I guess there are like similar archetypes like between these different systems or whatever. But yeah, favorite character. It is so hard, man. It is kind of like recency bias always, because like I'm reading Wave Kings again because my mate picked up Wave Kings and we started talking to me about it, so like I had to pick it up. That's how good the book is. It's just like I'm answering questions about it and I'm like, oh shit, I have to start reading it again.
Yeah, right. Well, that's why I'd almost say per series, right? Because I don't know that I could.
But even in the first 300 pages of Wave Kings, it's like, man, Kaladin is like a stand-up amazing character. What a dude, and he's just starting to get going here. And then Dalinar, and then you start getting some Dalinar stuff here as well, like some Dalinar points of views where you just, man, Dalinar is such a good character. I don't know. I always underrate him. He's so good.
Yeah, Way Kings. I mean, I think Kaladin for me for sure, but it's less as it start. Kaladin has some struggles in the later books. It's sort of like hurt him a little bit. I love Kaladin. I love me some Kaladin, but Dalinar, especially Oathbringer, his everything happening in Oathbringer.
It's not just so there, but it's here too. Like his decisions, the way that he's struck, like the way that the way that he's characterized, like Dalinar, like as in who he is, what makes him tick, what makes him make his decisions. It's top notch stuff. Like he's so straight. He's so based. He just does. He knows what he wants. He knows exactly the right thing to do for him, and he'll do it, and no one will stop him. I love that.
See you later, Napoleon. Adolin is way up. Adolin grows on you so much as him just being a good dude.
When he goes and puts himself in jail because Kaladin's in there, that's just
dude, that is one of the.
Before that, I was like, I don't like this pretty boy, but then.
Yeah, but that just I think that's where it turned for. I would think that's probably where it turned for Kaladin too. It's just like you did what?
And that's probably what it turned for me then too. Yeah.
So real quick, so Forsaken, I got in my Sanderson box for my Gear Sanderson, I got Taln here. So that's for the tabletop game. So and I hopefully should be getting my statues soon, right, Dovey? I got the statues from his Kickstarter that are supposed to go with that game are supposed to be shipping this month, so I'm looking forward to those coming too. But and then I got to paint all these bad boys. Holy crap! But
that's the best part. The painting.
What, the painting? Oh yeah.
I love the painting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to answer your question, it is tough to pick. But my favorite character, I'm gonna say. My favorite character is Vasha, actually. If I look at it,
Vasha?
Yeah, Vasha's my favorite Cosmere wide. Yep, he's my favorite character.
I've had. I know you really like Warbreaker too.
I do. I love it.
Yeah, I know you love Warbreaker. So what? Like I don't know that I can pick a favorite character. Yeah, but go for it. Yeah, what do you think?
I'm forgoing. I can't pick.
Well, okay. So per series, can you pick one per series?
A little bit. Warbreaker, Seuss is my favorite.
Yeah, what?
Look, I get Vasher is cool, but Seuss goes through it.
Cool. He's
part of the cutest relationship in the Cosmere. Okay.
Actually, the best character is Nightblood, man. The best character is probably Nightblood.
Yes, we'll see what Nightblood's arc is. Warbreaker. So, Mistborn ERA2, I would go.
Yeah, you got to split up the eras. Absolutely.
I think Sazed.
Yeah, okay.
Because Cosmere is only there for the one book.
I don't care. Yeah. He's my favorite still.
He's my favorite too.
I don't care. He's still Kel's just too good, man. Sorry,
yeah, he's the wit.
All right, ERA2.
ERA2 is hard. It's totally.
I would probably go Wayne.
it's like Wax is really good, but Wayne is Wayne, right? I
don't
know.
Personality.
It's just Wayne is just Wayne, right? I don't know how like he's. I don't know. Whenever he's on the page, just things are always happening, and it's never like there's never like. Whenever Wayne is in a scene or involved, it's never slow or just like drawn out. It's like just stuff is always happening and it's always entertaining when Wayne is around. So I don't know. That's why I find myself liking Wayne more and more. But so
yeah,
okay,
I'd say or it'd be Vin. I mean, if it, like for the entire series, I mean, Vin is such a good chick character, right?
Yeah,
like she's amazing. She's one of his best. I reckon anyway. Not everyone agrees with that, but she's pretty damn cool.
So what about Stormlight?
It's a definite crap.
You okay?
I'm eating something. I keep
don't choke to death, man. It's not that important a question, man. Holy crap.
I would have to maybe say fight between Kaladin and Dalinar, but even then, it's tough to say.
I feel like that's everybody's. But and with like you got Kaladin and Dalinar, and then Adolin's always in there, like because he just is like right.
I'm a Shallan stan as well, just quite.
Oh God, I hope your kid.
I love
I like I think
Please.
Shalon is good. 1
Oh,
to
God.
3, and then 4 falls flat.
Why don't you just say 10, all right? And then, just say 10 is your favorite character, and I'll stab you. 10 is the worst character in any book ever, by the way. Sorry. I hate 10, the guy, the woman that freaking Shalon models Veil after.
Oh.
It's just
Why?
I can't. If you read it again, you'll next time we read Way Kings, you'll know what I'm talking about. I couldn't. I really can't.
Share with the class. Don't just say read it. I remember the scene well.
She's horrible. She's annoying. I hate her so much. Most annoying character ever.
She's a horrible person, yes, but I don't remember her being
like her mannerisms, everything she says. It's all just I don't know. It just all comes off as annoying to me. So
it is stupid. Like you would have killed her in an instant. She would have been dead.
That is a hard question. Are we talking about so rank every Cosmere book? Are we talking about mainline books or are we including novellas? Because
I think we can include novellas because I think some of them are very good. I especially like Dawnshard.
Some of them go to, I don't know. The novellas are probably some of my least favorite. And some of them I didn't particularly like Dawnshard that much. It was okay, but it wasn't. It's fine. Look. We I
didn't really like it. What did you like about it, ADO? What did you like about Dawnshard, man? Oh, because I was okay.
Risen Dark. She's someone who's trying to basically overcome this is a character we've seen for a little bit in each book, and now we finally see her trying to basically regain some of her agency and learn how to play the role that she's been taught for so long.
I only liked it because Chewy had a bigger role. But the only part that I really liked about it was the fucking stone dragon, little baby dragon.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't connect with it. It's sort of I felt like it's sort of the same way that I'm having the same problem with Yumi. I think I wasn't really that interested in Risen, and then just it picked up once I got to the island, but it took a while for it to get going for me. And I feel like it's probably going to be the same thing with Yumi for me. I got to get over that hill for myself and get into the part where it starts actually gets moving a little bit. At least for me. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I just wasn't. It's not top tier for me.
I liked Risen. I actually liked that part of it. As what Shaw said, having to overcome those things. I think he did that pretty well. He wrote that pretty well. But yeah, that's not my favorite. Rank him. How can we possibly?
Physical tier list.
Every Cosmere, we would need a tier list, wouldn't we? Holy crap!
There's probably one already made. It's not something that would be not made. But also, I do like the creatures in it in Dawnshard.
The sleepless.
The sleepless. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. That's the coolest thing about that is going back and rereading all the other books, mate, and then trying to notice when there's Kremlings in the story that shouldn't really be there.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
They're a very good addition.
Yeah,
Sanderson said he just wanted to create something very alien, and he did a good job.
Well, he succeeded in that.
I gotta see if there's
every little Kremling
up to date one.
Hard, insane.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's another. Well, that's also another thing that's going to be holy crap for the future of. What the hell? How powerful did she just get in terms of, right? I mean, just.
Man. Well, it depends. Yeah, it's what he does with a lot of these things when he with his power scaling. It may have a massive. She might have just got a massive power upgrade or whatever. But
Risen.
But
can
it be wielded effectively? Because if it can't, it can be useless. You think about
that's what it says. The reason she has it is because she literally cannot use it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He does that well. That's how he maintains his. So far, that's how, which is a pretty big achievement. He's managed to maintain his power levels and that sort of stuff throughout a lot of books and a lot of OP stuff happening. But he's managed to keep it in. He's managed to contain it mostly.
Yeah. Basically, imagine her having a 1,000 times multiplier, but she is a 0.
Yeah.
What
And
the
so she
hell is
cannot
wrong
use
with
it.
some of these people? How do you like? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon Hoyt? Do you reckon that Hoyt's got the Dawn shards? That's a theory that people have got going.
Dude,
I've heard
read and
that.
find out.
I
Read and
don't
find out.
know.
Read and find out. Shut up.
I reckon he
Read
does.
and find
Because
out.
in his letter, I was just reading this.
Wait.
He says he's
Oh.
got. He said,
You guys,
Steve
read
saying
and
read and
out.
find out. There's probably something in Sunlit Man then.
Read and
Yeah.
find out. Yeah, it's funny because you haven't.
I reckon he does anyway.
The only book you haven't read has something about it. Yeah.
That'd be right. I reckon he does. No,
Right.
because in Way of Kings, he talks about like having the artifacts secure when he's in his
Well, not
letter
just
to
that.
Frost.
People
that's where I
have
reckon
guessed his inability to do harm and his vegetarianism might be an effect from that people have theorized.
He's vegetarianism. He's a vegetarian.
He has to be. He cannot eat meat.
Why can't he
This
eat
is
meat?
canon.
Why can't?
We don't know. The theory
When
is
did it-
a Dawn Shard did it, that he literally cannot eat meat.
But how do we know he can't eat meat?
I
Where does
believe
it
he
say
says he
I thought he
misses
said-
eating.
I thought he
He's-
said
does he?
something like that. Oh.
He's.
Yeah.
I believe he one time said he misses eating something. Yeah.
I don't know that for sure, but like I know there's something about it in Sunlit Man. So
Yes, he can't eat
once you
meat.
can
I know that
keep
for
going with
fact.
Interesting.
So I don't know. There's not a complete tier list in here to actually do it justice. Let's see here. I think, man, I think that's almost another freaking stream because that's that.
I was gonna say that is.
I can we'll do it, Sam. But I think I need to put an actual tier list together because some of these are just they're like half. Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that. Sam asked though, should I start with Mistborn or Stormlight?
It's just a thing because by the time you get to book 4, you'd need to have read Mistborn. So it's
I
tricky,
picked
isn't it?
Mistborn.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you're, I want to say Mistborn just because it's simpler and like I feel like it's a simpler read and then it sort of builds up to you getting into to Way of Kings. So like I feel like going back could hurt Mistborn a little bit if you went back from like if you get into Way of Kings and then you really have a hard time stopping Way of Kings. Going from Way of Kings, you almost have to go into Radiance because there almost could be one book because the transition, right? So stopping at the end of Way of Kings before reading Words of Radiance is almost, I don't want to say impossible, but you'd be actually doing yourself a disservice if you don't read Words of Radiance right after Way of Kings, in my opinion. So if you're going to read Way of Kings, you're pretty much going to be 2 books into Stormlight. Then you got to go back to Mistborn. I feel like on a reread, that's fine, but I feel like you're sort of going to lose some of that energy. Maybe. I don't know. You guys could disagree with that.
Nah, you
I would
can.
agree. Mistborn done Way of Kings.
Oh.
There's a lot of stuff that's set up. Plus, it's the Earth stand-in. There's less divergence. There's less of a divergence in the setting, so it's easier to understand.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Dovey says Mistborn, not even a question. I think that's really. I really just think that's the place to start. They're also shorter.
If you're trying to choose, if you're tossing up, then I think that's correct.
Plus, arguably, I think so.
And you need to read Warbreaker. I'll go from that to Warbreaker and then do Stormlight. To be honest,
that's probably fair. That's probably Warbreaker is also short, so it's not that.
Yeah. That's an easy read.
It takes some time, but they are very connected. Especially where we're at now.
They're not in the same solar system.
No, they're in different solar systems.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry. I thought he meant.
You can read them individually. They're connected. They're connected enough that for like a geek, it's really cool. But like they're not connected too much that if you're not like a geek about it, that it affects the story at all. So it's up to you, man.
I think
most of them are readable by themselves and just have connections which are nice to appreciate.
So Stablebow's suggestion is probably a pretty good one. Mistborn, Elantris, Warbreaker, Stormlight ERA2. I think that's probably a good way to go about it. I think there is a world where you read Lost Metal before Rhythm of War, but I don't know if you really need to.
But Staplebo says next here, his latest comment as a good point to carry into account. His early
this
stuff.
right here?
Yes, fuck. I keep joking.
It depends on which series. Stuff like Era 1 is pretty standalone, but Stormlight and Era 2 are more interconnected. Yeah. So it seems like the more and more that he's writing now, the more and more connections he's making between each series. And that's why I think it's important for him to get back to Elantris and Warbreaker, just because those stories need to progress.
Yeah, they do.
Because Stormlight, because Stormlight's going to be way ahead. Lost Metals put it in a good Cosmere sort of wide place. Stormlight at the end of 5, I would imagine, is going to be connections all over the damn place. Well, there already are, but
yeah.
But just like freaking Tress, right? The fact that there is a freaking Elantarian pretending to be a witch in her spacecraft on another planet. It's like, what the hell is going on Elantris?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So it's like as soon as and then honestly, the fact that there's some of the revelations in Sunlit Man for me were actually quite big. Like, so in you guys got to read it before we can talk about it, but there's more of that in Sunlit Man too, which is a Stormlight novel to me. That might as well be Stormlight, but 4.3 if you're adding Dawn Shard and Edge Dancer. Yeah, I mean, what is happening? Who knows what's happening, man? I know.
What's happening with what?
Know.
And I do actually want to point to Articus's question on Odium.
Which one? Right here?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Taravangian being the big new big bad.
I love it. I can't even imagine. I love it personally. I really, really do. I think having that character, having that power, is unbelievably cool.
I think it's. I like it. I like it. I think it's bad news, and I think that's why some people don't like it because it's bad. It should be bad news having that guy who is basically, he's basically like Kelsier. Like, he will do anything to accomplish his goals, and like I sort of feel like it would be like. I sort of feel like Taravangian taking over that role would be just as bad as like look, I love Kelsier, but I don't want Kelsier to have that type of power either, because he just he would run rampant with it, right? So I think
he's far more interesting than Rias as an antagonist after having him, because
his first action after being melded, fucking with Hoyd. I mean, that's a big one right there, right? To show you that he's not fucking around, right? So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the next one, because I think it can go all kinds of ways, and I'm interested to see where it goes. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I think he's far more competent in more subtle ways and more interesting motivation, which makes us wonder, because that line of "you don't know what you've done, you poor little thing" or whatever, that was like so fucking scary.
Dude,
that line, and you don't necessarily know how to take it.
Him getting one up over Hoyd is kind of crazy. That's crazy.
And
that's nuts.
I know people feel weird about Odium, like Reyes getting killed off basically the next book after he's introduced, but to be fair, he was going in a downward spiral.
I don't mind that so much, because we've built that. We have such a connection to Taravangian now, and we know that character now. Putting him, he's basically the polar opposite of Dalinar at this point.
Correct. Plus, they've got that relationship too, mate. So it's like, that's really
two sides of the same coin.
Which one here, Dovey? Which can we discuss the actual connections? Which ones? Like, it would take. It's gonna. There's a lot. Like, I mean, no, I mean, Nightblood's already been brought up, right here. I think that's a huge one. Just the fact that you have I still don't know what that has in store for anything. Just the fact that Nightblood's being carried around by Zeth.
Or the fact that what's her face, Vivenna's there and she's got another
Yeah,
one.
Vivenna's there and she has one that's not messed up.
To be, one that's not so like schizophrenic.
Well, she seems to have a sentient weapon that is not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they made a shard blade, like sort of.
Yeah, they made a sentient shard blade.
Well, not really. I mean, it's different because shard blades can transform into anything, right?
So they woke it up. Yeah. So they worked theirs up. Whereas I guess on Roshar they're imbued with investiture, with the Spren or whatever.
Right. Well, they are the Spren, right?
They're pure investiture.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
They are the Spren, right?
Sword. Whereas you've got like an object that's awakened. It's different.
Like I don't know I'm curious. What connection are you talking about? Just throw me one, Dovey, because there's a ton of them, right? So
there's
I mean,
many.
Oh mate, we should talk about the ghost bloods of the dead.
Yes, well, shard blades. Yeah, I think shard blades are sentient. Absolutely, because they're the friend. Yeah, they are.
You are correct. I was more thinking of dead ones for a second, and then was like, wait a second. Shard blades are technically all living things.
Yeah, I mean dead shard blades. That's another. Man, you guys got to read some of it, man. There's so much stuff in there too. But like, I'm also curious. What's going on with Adolin and his blade? I wonder if he's like there's the whole will the resurrection happen type deal.
I think he will.
Yes,
I think Dalinar will resurrect Oathbringer.
I still think Dalinar's gonna become.
You think he's gonna go bad?
I think Dalinar's gonna become Honor.
I don't know, because
you think he's gonna pick up the.
I think he's going to pick up the shard. Yeah, I think he's actually going to become the shard of honor. He's going to shard is. I've always held in my hope that honor isn't dead, and that
since not dead,
Dalinar will become the most honorable of men, and
it could
become
Cal,
honor.
Though. There's a lot of
Cal's
weird
got
hints.
too much bullshit going on.
He's too depressed.
That's the point. There's a weird little thing with Cal where he's called the son of Tanavast by the Stormfather.
Yeah, that's true. But he'd say that to any Windrunner, wouldn't he?
Right, but right, he could say that to anyone.
Said that to Cal.
Well, but he's only said that's the only Windrunner he's spoken to. We don't know what
he's
right.
I mean, Lopen.
Well, I mean, Lopen's barely a Windrunner, so what are you talking about? Like I think Cal. I don't know. Cal, I don't think could handle it. At least not in the state he's in right now. He's like maybe we'll see what happens with him in Stormlight 5, but Dalinar has never faltered. Like he's had his since we've known him anyways, right? I mean, he's always done the right thing. He's been steadfast. He's done the honorable thing to a fault almost, right?
Yeah.
So right. So and he's such right. So he's like the embodiment of honor right now. So it either means he's going to evolve or he's going to fall. And I really don't want him to fall. Who's going to die? Oh, Jesus.
People are going to die. People are going to die.
In Stormlight? So who's going to die in Stormlight? Yeah. Well, since we lost Wayne, right? Like, oh, God. I'm very worried. So hold on. I'm very worried for Dalinar. Would be cool to see him become honor, but I don't know how one would reforge the splintered shards. Well, I mean,
because Dalinar is the bondsmith. That's how.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like shards, like so. What is it? Not what's goddamn the name of the freaking one that's
Stormfather?
No. The shard that splintered herself all over the damn place.
Oh, autonomy.
Autonomy is splintered herself into so many fragments, right?
That is different.
Well, why? Just because he was like, we don't know the function. Like, we don't like.
She chose to do it, Bob. But
like,
she's not dead.
We don't know.
Lost her mind.
We don't know how function. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It might be a fool's hope but I feel like honor lives in men, and
That's what it says.
you know,
I'm not
Dalinar
against-
is the most honorable of men, and he will somehow rekindle the shard of honor. We'll see. I could, I could be off my own fucking rocker, but it would be cool. But that also makes him ripe for a huge fall, right? So, I don't know. It's one of those things, and I've always I want to ask you before. Oh, who? Well, I don't want to avoid the question. So, Stormlight 5, who's gonna die? Is that
Yeah, who's on the chopping block? I think Cal's
who's on the chopping block? Kaladin's on the chopping block.
Kaladin might be. I don't know.
He's huge. Kaladin, Dalinar are both on the chopping block, big time. I think. Shoot, let's see. I don't think Shallan's gonna die.
So this is the thing, right? In that Six of the Dust 2 book that Brandon released, but it's not written. It's just like something that he projected out in the future, way in the future. There was like this crazy space Alethi in space that was very much like.
I think there might have been a Pershendi because they mentioned.
I think it was Dalinar.
No, I thought it was a Pershendi because they mentioned him talking in like a humming rhythm.
Yeah,
We
I
never
don't
actually
remember it, to
see
be
if
honest.
it's human. They never show anything underneath the plate.
I don't remember the humming
I-
rhythm.
Yeah, so Savable, I was thinking the same. So I think Dalinar. Dalinar, I think, is either going to rise or fall. I don't think he's going to die. I think it's either going to be very dark for Dalinar or very good for Dalinar. I think Adolin is definitely on the chopping block. I think Renarin's on the chopping block for sure. I think Elaine's going to survive. I think for sure Shallan's going to survive.
Shallan's going to be a world hopper.
I don't think Renarin is on the chopping block yet. He still technically has a book.
Does he? Okay.
Yes.
Well, Renarin's also interesting because he's something different. Him and Relaine are in this weird, they're truth seekers, but not right. I mean, they have that other, they're Sprenner corrupted. So what the hell's going on with them? So there's a story to tell there.
Let me look.
But so hold on. Let me get I'm just gonna go through this real quick in my own head. So Dalinar is definitely possible. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think the big possibles are Kaladin. I think Adolin are two huge ones that are big possibles. Let's see who else we got. Yasna's gonna survive, no doubt.
Yeah. She's the queen of the world.
I think Moash is gonna survive in some aspect as well. I don't think Moash is gonna die. I think he's gonna have a. I think Cal may bring him back in some fashion. And may be dying in the process, which would suck. But let's see who else is there.
That would be a pretty good storytelling.
It would be, but it would be heartbreaking. But man, I'm trying to think of some other Navani is gonna be fine. She's gonna a new age of spaceships and shit. She's ripe to be the technological marvel of the next generation of freaking Roshar, right? So I think she's gonna be fine. Yeah. Hoyd is fine. Hoyd is fine forever. Sigil is fine. Dude, it hurt me for how much it hurt me that Tef died. Fuck. God, it fucking sucked that Tef died.
I hated the same. I hated it.
Killed me, man. Tef was one of my favorite freaking windrunners, but Rock I think is gonna be good. So is Lopin. I'm not saying I don't. I think Navani could go, but I don't think she's gonna. I think all the girls are safe. I think all the girls are safe.
I think that Shallan's safe because she's going to end up being a world hopper at the end of all this.
At the end of book
5, 100%. She's made for it.
Here we go. So that's sorry. Go ahead.
Which means that Adolin is more likely to get the chop.
Yeah.
And to set her free to do a world hopping, they could go that way as well.
So let's see. So you have two Lift. Lift is going to be fine.
Yeah, she's Brando's favorite, I think.
So yeah. So what about Zeth? You think I think Zeth is going to be cursed to I think he may be another world hopper, cursed to wander the Cosmere, unable to
The
die.
Adventures of Death and Vasha. Now that's a book I want to see.
Look at that, Stormblessed, what a name. Boom. You think Adolin lives? I hope. I love Adolin. I hope he lives. Look, I want them all to live. I don't like I don't like my characters dying. That's why I had a lot of trouble with Game of Thrones when I read it. I get attached to the characters. I think that I want them to survive the whole thing and see where they go. But just with what happened with Wayne in Lost Metal, I think that's sort of a shot out the bow off the bow, saying he's not afraid to kill people. So I get why I get why characters need to die, and if they're done right, I get it. It still hurts.
He gets criticism for not killing him off too. So
he just killed the main character, right? I mean, Wayne is basically Wax and Wayne, right? So, So I get what a good death can do to your story. It hurts me. So it's one of those things. So yeah, I don't know. Did I miss anybody big? Zeth I think is gonna live, but he's gonna be doomed to be alone with Nightblood forever.
I don't think he and Nightblood can survive too long together. Well, to be honest,
because I mean,
the world will be destroyed.
His Spren is hopping around there somewhere too. Not sure what's gonna come of that. Like, can you imagine a dual wielding Zeth with Shardblade and Nightblood?
Yes, I can imagine it. I can fully front and center imagine that. That'd be amazing.
Boy. Oh, so I think Dalinar will lose the Battle of Champions.
Yeah, that's possible. I think that's possible too.
So has that technically already happened?
No.
No? Technically, no?
Not at all.
No?
Not at all.
Well, the guy who made the deal with is dead.
Yeah, but it'll still hold, won't it? I'm pretty sure it'll still hold.
He's not gone, so yeah.
Isn't that the whole premise?
He's not gone.
I'm pretty sure that's the premise of the whole of the whole book 5, right? It's that period of time leading up to it.
No.
All over the space of 5 days or something, which is crazy.
So yes, Sazed is Harmony. He's basically floating over. I think Sazed's in trouble too, but I don't know. He is the god of Scadrial. He's sort of out there now, sort of playing the shard game, which is sort of like, I don't know, like all the inner workings of what the shards are doing, fucking with each other too, is sort of interesting as well. Like autonomy. I think is worse than frickin' Odium.
She's more competent.
I mean, autonomy has got her shards and everything. It sure seems like, doesn't it? I mean,
sure does. Yep.
Here we go. Staplebow says Sazed is becoming Discord, so I think he'll become a full-on villain, possibly.
This is a possibility because I mentioned there is a little bit of extra ruin which we don't know what's happened to, because it needs to be channeled somewhere, and if it's not, that means he is not harmonized. That means he might be.
No, he's fucked up. Someone is fucked up with So I like that theory that discord, disorder, whatever you want to call it, that he is shifting. Because something is, he feels it anytime you have a point of view from Harmony. Something is not right. Was that
Kelsier? Kelsier's been saying Sazed's been acting weird for a long time.
That's true too. Yeah, that's true too.
Kelsier will probably kill him at some point.
I think it'll be Kel. Yeah. What if Kelsier kills him and takes the shards and takes the power and becomes Discord? Holy shit!
I don't think that'll happen. I have heard Kelsier may be trying to get the ambition shard, which was splintered. And that seems like a good fit.
I don't put anything by Kelsier is a villain, man. Like I love him, but Kelsier, he's a hero schedule, but a villain to everybody else, man. Like he does not give a fuck. If you're not pro schedule, you can fuck off.
He is a morally gray character. And honestly, kind of, what Stormbliss said. Autonomy is going to just basically be a faction in the war.
Well, it already, I mean, it does, No, I think that's, I mean, part of, so, and also what always confuses me is, do we have an actual timeline anywhere of where these books are taking place?
Yeah, there is
Is there an actual timeline? Because that's it always freaking gets me messed up is trying to figure out where each book is taking place.
There's a dude with a channel, Raffo, whatever it is. Read and find out.
Mm-hmm.
He does the best stuff. Go and check it. He does the best timeline. He's got an amazing timeline. You can see it.
And that's another good, like I don't quite know what the hell Hoyt is up to. I can't figure it out. Because he's going around collecting every time of investiture he can. But sorry, go ahead, Shai.
No, you're right. There's a little. I was just gonna say he seems just to want to keep all the shards from killing one another. But yeah, he does have something else going on with that collection thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his end game is. He's in. What's that?
Well, I think he's trying to. So I think he understands. I think he understands more than any of us, or more than anyone. Like what they did at the Shattering.
Well, yeah.
And I think since then, he's been trying to mitigate the risk. I think that's pretty accurate, and I think that like he's like reaching out to Frost and that sort of stuff, like trying to get some other beings to help him intervene that perhaps that aren't that way inclined. Is interesting that you've got these two different schools of thought, that there's something that we don't understand as the reader in the background that's going to be a really big problem at some point that Hoyd knows about, that he's actively trying to circumvent throughout the entire history of the Cosmere so far. And then there's other forces that are like equal or whatever with Hoyd, like his mates like Frost or whatever, that have a different point of view, that think that there's no need to intervene. So that's his game over here, which is crazy. And I don't know what he's doing. Or the only thing I know what he's doing is that he thinks that by collecting as much power as he can, that's going to help him to stop a future event. But that's what he's doing, as far as I can tell.
I think
the question is whether or not him doing that, whether he's right about the fact that he needs to do that, or whether or not he's wrong and maybe Frost is right. Yeah.
Well,
Dovey, I feel sorry, real quick. I feel like I have to reread the whole thing all the time because we're talking about stuff. It's like, oh crap, I totally forgot about that. Right? I feel like I always got to reread the whole thing. Sorry, Shai, go ahead.
I think part of Hoyt's perspective on what he did, because he helped shatter Adazalium, and I think he regrets that heavily. Where it's like, we just might have fucked up a lot of things in the attempt to try to do good. So I don't think he would try to rebuild it, because I think he's now of the perspective of don't try and make big plans to make sure you help everyone. Just help who you can, and you do not see as far as you think you do. That's a big
I
part
don't know.
Of his perspective.
It's one of those things. Is he like? I think it was Stablebo said he might be trying to remake Ad Nauseam. Who knows? He may just be trying to take it all on himself. I don't know. And I don't know that we'll know till Dragonsteel comes out, whenever the hell that is going to be, since
that's going to be so much later.
It'll be the last thing. Well, it has to be. I mean, it's Hoyd's books, right? So
it's either Dragonsteel or Mistborn ERA2 is the last.
Yeah, so it's gonna, that's gonna be a ways off, but just to pull it back a little, I wanted to ask you guys what magic system is your favorite?
You go first, Shai.
Favorite? Shai, what is your like? I'm curious because I think they're all. I think that's part of what Sanderson does best is interesting Magic systems that are complicated and uncomplicated at the same time. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Shai.
I really like the one from Emperor's Soul. It's one of the
the stamping is cool.
It's a really cool one where you can change the history of something and transform it for a while. Because I like all of them, but that one's the one I'm probably like we need to see more of, because that one has a lot of interesting implications.
Well, you're gonna see more of it, aren't you, after Lost Metal?
Oh yeah, it's a good one. I think it's possibly it is one of his more creative ones.
Sorry, sorry.
The one from Emperor's Soul, the one where you can rewrite the history of something.
Is that forgery?
Forgery, yeah.
Forgery.
Forgery, and that isn't for. Okay, wait. What planet is that? What shard is forgery?
It's from Cell.
It's from Cell.
So okay, so is that okay? See, this is where Cell hurts my brain. So which shard? Which shard is it?
I think it might be a mix of Devotion or Dominion.
How?
Those are the only two shards it can be.
None of the others mix, do they? I mean, I guess Cultivation is sort of mixing with Honor with like the feeding thing, but that's like, how are they mixing to make a new surge?
Preservation and Ruin.
Yeah, but they combined. The shards on Cell are both dead.
Yeah, they're both dead and in a kind of weird polarized state. There could be that it's somewhere in the middle, like the equator, and that's where it mixes. I'm not sure on that, but I know that's where it's on Cell.
So okay, so it is both. I just don't. We need more. I don't know. Like my brain starts to hurt when it comes to Cell and the shards and what they're able to do. It's just like I don't understand why does it work? why does it work? All right. So what? So okay. To be
fair, I think Cell's constantly referenced as the anomaly because of how they're shattered.
I like this mixed in a weird soup. Okay, works for me. Why not?
It's not normal because what happened is the two shards, Dominion and Devotion, were on the planet. Then Odin killed them and then proceeded to take their essence into the cognitive realm.
Yeah, I feel like Cell is just like everything. Like if you like everything is possible on Cell. Cell is
because it's basically connected to both the planet and how people cognitively see things. Like it's connected to their language and all that shit.
So we have so Staplebo says Alamancy, Storm Blessed. I could have guessed it. Surge Binders all day long. Hell yeah. Was it Carb? Carba? Oh, man. Carbadias? We're gonna call you Car. I'm gonna call you Car Baby. Loves the Stormlight or let's see who else we got here. It's a large fix for the shards. I feel that
oaths are hard to top, man. Very cool.
They really are, right? Let's see. But so go ahead. What do you think?
My favorite. It's hard to go past Stormlight just because I love it so much. But Magic system in itself, like favorite. It's gonna be breaths. It's gonna be breaths.
It is a good one. Yeah, I really liked it when I first saw it. I was like, "Holy shit, what is this?"
Yeah, I love that
concept. The concept of breaths.
I love that concept. Not just the breath part, but the way that it works. You know, a certain amount of breaths can do a certain amount of things that you can give it to someone or whatever. That it changes the world around you. That the world looks different, whether you have your breath or you don't. It's an interesting concept. That's probably my favorite.
There's 10 tiers into what you can do depending on the amount you hold.
Staplebo, we were talking about that earlier. I took that a long time ago. I think I got Windrunner. I don't remember.
Yeah, I jump between a Windrunner and a Wheel Shaper. That's what.
I mean, I guess we could do that here in a minute, but
we could do that.
I always wanted to say Surge Binding and Oaths right away just because I love Stormlight. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more interesting Alamancy seems to be to me. Just especially when you add Twinborn into it and all the things that Windborn could do. I still think Sturge Binding is probably the most powerful. But what's that?
We'll find out in the war. Can you imagine a war between like Roshans and Skeletons?
Oh, I can imagine. Just read Sunlit Man. Oh.
The thought of Allomancy and Ferrochemy becoming something like commercially available with the medallions and stuff.
Oh,
that definitely gets me like, ooh.
God, it's just the evolution of what's going on in Scadrial is just like I almost feel like it's too much, right? It's just like it's like how are you keeping track of all this shit, right? And then it's just like how big does it get to where the whole planet can now be freaking Allomancers because of you can buy a medallion, right? It's just like it just seems like, man.
That's an argument on whether or not Ferrochemy and Allomancy would be stronger than Surging. I've bet on that person where I think a Lord Ruler could fuck up any Surge Binder.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. Like,
depends
on the Surge Binder.
Aldan, here's my critical point. He can move at the blink of an eye. Surge Binders can't.
I mean, no, like, look, Lord, but I don't know. But
that's
when it comes down to it, Lord Ruler did get his ass killed, so
yes, and with the help of a god.
Well, yeah,
and it would only, and the Surge Binder would, the right Surge Binder would only have to touch him to like fucking ride.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Fullborn beats Surge Binder. I think that's probably, and I think that's probably also why Mistborns have been sort of taken off the table.
Yeah, we're never gonna see a Fullborn again. But like seriously, if he was trying, and if a god didn't interfere, he can heal basically anything. He can move at the speed of light. He can make himself as strong as he fucking wants.
Do you think Kel's gonna get his body back?
Kaladin would kill him anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how tough he was. Kel would find a way to kill him anyway.
If he wasn't moping, sure.
The fact, even if he was moping, if he had to do it, he would just find a way.
He just man. Well, that's also an interesting. What does the Fifth Oath even do when you become the personification of honor?
My theory is you do not lose any Stormlight, which I do not believe is enough.
Confused.
You're probably right for Fullborn, but I mean, what happens with the fifth? Like,
I think it's that because the analogy I've heard that Sandersons confirmed is a stop process is how like the more shaped or perfect the diamond is, the better it holds the Stormlight. Yeah, that's basically what the odes do. They're like shaping them, and so with the fifth ode, you're basically a perfect gem. You will not leak.
No, I think that's probably accurate. No, I think you're probably right because obviously, weapon, armor, then what's left? Well, being a permanent battery, right?
Yeah, because I think we see some of the the gods doing it. Some of the fused, they don't bleed any as well. They could just keep using their void light as much as they like. So, and they have like the gem hearts for that.
Yeah. This is the quiz, right? Is this
yes.
it?
By the way, to Stablebow, Kelsier literally has made bands to become a Fullborn. So yes.
Yeah. Is he gonna get his body back and then just like, I don't know. Kelsier is a villain, man. Kelsier is a super villain waiting to happen. Like I swear, and it's so cool. Like, and it's like Kelsier is so interesting and cool, and he is literally just a super villain, just trying to be born.
Yeah, given the right circumstances, there's no doubt that he has that capacity, which is cool. Which is pretty good. Cool to have in your back pocket, right?
Well, it's like, how far would he go? Like that's what I always think.
As far as he needed to. Yeah.
How far would he go? Would he just stop at protecting Scadrial, or he just wipe everybody out and have Scadrial be left?
He go as far as he thought was necessary.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Something to make clear: Fifth Oath will not mean. Remember, one of the heralds is at a Fifth Oath, and he clearly is struggling.
Wait. So that brings up an interesting question, though, Shai. If you do not lose Stormlight, how do you die?
I think It's expended when you heal,
For shadow.
but that's about it. You will not
How?
leak.
But why? Why would it expend when you heal? It's you can re-up while you're healing too. I mean, if you can never lose if you're just a permanent battery.
I don't think it's permanent battery. It's more you don't lose any by leaking. Like so you have a bottle that has a bunch of holes
So
in
you
it,
can expand.
and you're
You can
patching up
expand
the
some,
holes.
but you still need the battery. So you still
I
need
think
the
you
Stormlight. You're just not gonna. Okay,
I
buddy.
think you just expend when you heal, and that's it. Or you expend when you use something, but you don't leak.
Yeah, I just don't think you could die.
Yeah, you could still die.
You just end up
Nope.
being a cognitive shadow. You just end up being a shadow. You might lose
I'm
your
not sure
body.
about
How many of these are there? How long you got, Aldan, before we need to wrap up?
Oh, probably about 10 minutes, I reckon, mate.
Yeah.
Yep.
We could probably do this quick. All right. Are we doing this for me?
Do this for you.
Sure, let's do this for you.
So
I'll
you
do
want
it
to answer
alongside as well.
Why don't you just answer it for? I don't know. Heart on my sleeve or poker face? I guess I don't really have a poker face, do I?
Nah,
I
you're
have
what,
no-
70,
I don't know.
70, 30, 80, 20. 80-20 hard on sleeve, I reckon.
We'll do 80-20. That sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
Confident, needs reassurance. Probably
Alright.
I'm
probably
50-50 on that.
50-50, really? Okay. All right.
I am. I'm doing my own. You do
I
your
think
own.
I'm probably 70-30. Or, well, that's probably a little much. We'll go. There you go. All right. Cautious, daring.
I'm 65-30.
I'm probably
35,
cautious.
65.
I'm probably more cautious than daring.
Yeah,
Library, dojo.
I'm library.
Fuck the library.
I'm 50-50 there. I'm about 60-40 dojo.
Fuck the library. I can't. We'll go. I read some books. I'll give it 5%. Lone wolf or wolf pack. We'll go. I think probably I'm a big loner. If anybody thinks I'm wrong here.
I don't know you well enough.
This is all for
that's
you,
it. Only
mate.
the Bondsmith could do Infinite Stormlight thing that you're thinking about, and that maybe. So what? So yeah, what if, dude? Can you believe?
Dalinar
Yeah,
becomes an immortal bondsmith. That'd be
oh
amazing.
my! Well, that's how he speaks the fifth, does a freaking perpendicularity, and it just evolves into honor. There you go. We did it. Peacemaker or Firebrand? I'd probably say I'm more of a peacemaker. Probably. I don't like confrontation. We'll go 75.
I'm like half and half.
Spiritual skeptical.
I'm
I'm a
100%
big skeptic.
Yes.
90. Leader facilitator. Ooh.
50-50 on that for me.
Leader facilitator. What do we think?
I think you're
Again,
a leader. You're the man of your house. You're running the stream.
You're guard dog, alley cat, guard dog for sure.
Yeah.
Compassionate, dispassionate. I'd say I'm probably too compassionate.
I lean more towards compassionate, though I definitely have.
Heart or head? Yeah. Your keyboard disagrees. And my keyboard disagrees with what? Wait, which one? Hold on, wait, it disagrees with what? Hold on, come on.
With the compassionate, dispassionate, I reckon.
Oh,
he's probably what you're referring to.
Keyboard damage will bring it right down to 70. There you go. Bring it down a few points. There you go, stable. All right. Flamboyant or wait, I skipped harder.
You're flamboyant. Your keyboard says so.
Dalinar becomes a fuse to be general in the future war of Roshar. Ooh. It'll be Dalinar versus dude.
That's a dark world possibility.
Crazy. Oh my god. All right, here we go. Heart versus head. Probably I would probably this way. Probably there you go. Flamboyant, reserved. I'm definitely I did wear a wig and make a commercial. We'll go over there. There we go. Letter of the law, spirit of the law.
Yeah, you have to be reserved because you got all those the cautious ones maxed out, so you have to be reserved.
Free spirited, disciplined.
I know I'm free spirited. I would assume you are too. With your mayo packets.
Probably
50-50 with these ones.
You're 50-50 with them, yeah? I could see that.
With a lot of them, I'm pretty 50-50 on a lot of them.
Creative, conventional. I say more creative than conventional. We'll go 90. Obedient, rebellious. Probably. If I'm being honest.
Really? Damn.
I'm massively rebellious, personally.
I'm not much of a rebel. I don't think. Yeah. I mean, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Dependable or flexible.
I don't know why these are.
Those don't seem like polar opposites to me.
Yeah, I don't know why those are in the same one.
I'm disciplined. Okay, Yanon says I'm disciplined. I'll swing it the other way. There we go. Okay, dependable or flexible? I think I'm pretty dependable. We'll go. Well, like I'm gonna keep that at 50-50 because I don't feel like those are polar opposites. Down to earth, head in the clouds. I feel like
they're
that's
not polar.
Are they?
Not polar opposites? No, it's like dependable. Like, are you going to do the thing you say you're going to do? Yes. Flexible. Even though I said I'm going to do the thing, am I prepared to change my mind if the situation requires me to change my mind? That's the question.
So, I feel like they could choose better words for that because flexible, you could still be very dependable, but also flexible.
Correct, which is why it'd be 50-50. I think that's about right.
Here's a question while we're doing this for chat and for you guys. Do you think Kaladin is going to speak the fifth ideal in Stormlight 5?
I think he's going to die just before he does it after he saves Moash and changes his mind, like you said, Steve. I think we're going for. I think that's going to happen.
God, dude, I'm gonna.
Here's the thing: Sanderson likes characters to finish their arcs. He doesn't like cutting them short. So I think he might swear it and then die.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You're right about that, Shaw. That's a good point.
I hate you guys. Fuck this shit. Let him live. Sorry, go ahead.
You're right. And Cal has like a lot of like he's got a lot of page time to make up for all the depression in book 4 that was not necessary. So like, if you want to like take his arc, if he wants to complete his arc, he's got to come out of it. So he's got maybe he can't die.
Ends justify the means. Honorable actions. Oof. I feel like I'm there. Playful, serious. I feel like I'm right in the middle there. Tells the truth. Bends the truth. We'll go there. Likes to take things apart. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think I'm probably like that.
Yeah, I'm that too.
Hotel, 100%.
What? I like the camping. What is wrong with you?
Why sleep on the floor when you can sleep in a bed, man? What are you talking about?
Agreed.
Nature.
Look,
snakes around you.
How are you saying this? Australian.
Did I say I'm immoral? Yeah, I'm evil. What can I say? Where'd it go? Wait, can't hotel makes me? Where'd I put? If it ain't broke, bends the truth. Yeah, I bend the truth. That's probably too high.
You can bend the truth and still be an honest person. It says bend the truth, not lie.
I lie to my children all the time.
Yes, like you have to.
Aldan knows what I'm talking about.
That's called parenting 101.
when you say you are fine when you are clearly having a bad day, you are technically bending the truth.
Those aren't lies. Those are called risk mitigation strategies. That's what they are.
Ooh, artistic, scientific. I think we'll go.
I'd be 50-50.
I'm not book smart. I'm an idiot. Paladin or rogue? Paladin, 100%.
I'm rogue.
Competitive or casual? I'd say.
I am.
Yeah, I'd tell you highly competitive.
Transparency or need to know? I think
transparency.
I'm a transparency.
All right. Here we go. Let's see it. This is where I'm like become like I'm fucking gonna be a light weaver or some shit. It's like,
I'm light weaver.
I'm gonna puke if I'm a light weaver.
I'm thinking it looks.
There it is. See there.
You're the wind runner. I'm the light weaver.
It is. Okay.
See, good. I have the correct spren. See.
Yes, I did it. All right, cool. All right, let me close this up. All right, so I know Aldan's got to run, and we've been going for about an hour and a half. No, so next time, I think I hope everybody had fun. I think we'll try and be a little bit more structured for the next one. I'll come up with a topic, or maybe we'll just hit a tier list or something. I think a tier list is a good way to just spark conversation about all kinds of things. So, we'll filter some other guys in here. Getting Alex in here and his some of his takes will be good too.
Yep.
So,
but you're listening still, Alex.
Yeah. Well, he's having a fancy dinner right now, so fancy wancy. So thank you all for being here. We'll do hopefully, anybody that likes Cosmere, let them know we're going to be doing this probably, hopefully more and more. And go
There's a
read
Cosmere.
Sunlit Man. Sunlit Man, go read it. It's good.
I'll read
And
that before the next one. So
I'll go finish. I'll finish Yumi because Yunan said it's good. I just gotta get through over that hump. So I'll get through Yumi and finish White Sand, and then what's up?
I'll get to it once I finish Wheel of Time. I need to get to it.
There you go. Yeah, there's that too, right? Jesus. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do another one of these pretty soon. Make it a pretty regular thing, and hopefully build the audience so we get everybody participating and everybody that was here. Staplebo, Yanan, what was it? Car Baby. Car Baby's here. Thanks, Car Baby. Stormblessed. Thanks for being here. Articus, you were here the whole time. Thank you, sir. Dempsey, I see you. Thank you, Dempsey, for being here. And until next time, I guess. Don't forget, it's a journey before destination, folks. Right? I got to get me a Stormlight intro. So, man, I guess I'm gonna have to go out on Trollocs Lives Matter. That's sort of weird. I gotta update my shit. All right, guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.
This stream is brought to you by... Have you ever been misunderstood? A puppy in a rage monster's body? Well, we here at Trollocs Lives Matter believe there is a human inside all of us. And...
they were effectively genetically engineered war tools.
TLM, because even...
nightmare fuel.
...needs love too. And maybe a hug.